So you have knee pain. I was like you for 10 years. I had all kinds of diagnosis from doctors, Osgood Schlatter, patellofemoral pain syndrome. I had a partially artificial kneecap. I had a fracture in my kneecap from overuse that I had to replace part of my kneecap. I had a meniscus transplant. They put in dead person's meniscus. And I had a quad tendon repair. So what's interesting is that in one knee, I had surgical alterations to all three sides of it, meaning lower in the kneecap itself and above it. And then that left me with all kinds of issues, some of which were even worse than what the surgery was solving. And then I had more diagnosed tears to my right knee. So to think that I ever would have become knees over toes guy would have been absolutely an insane idea. I gave up the idea that I would ever dunk a basketball. I gave up the idea that I'd be able to play college basketball. I mean, deep down, I still had goals, but in reality, even I didn't believe them. And I decided I'm just going to devote my life to figuring out how to bulletproof my knees. And what you're looking at is the foundation of that. It's very unlikely that anyone has ever spent more time going backward with a sled than I have. So backwards with the sled, which we can mimic with the Zero book. So we can mimic all these strengths and abilities with this, but I would never tell you, yeah, only do the Zero book. These are amazing tools, but I would be telling you to relentlessly be looking for a turf and a sled. Now let's look at exactly what is happening. Boom, every step, my knee is over my toes. In this case, you're actually pulling your toes behind your knees. So you're taking this position, which can scale to any level, meaning you could start lighter. If you could walk backwards, you could drag 1 pound backwards and so on. You see what I'm saying? And you could start with smaller steps. The rules of ATG sledding is foot. This sets us up the whole way. This is not going to be as measurable of a knee exercise as does my toe get behind my knee? And then, am I rhythmic? So this as well could potentially be step 1 of the form, foot, but it's not rhythm. When we have that rhythm, now we're actually using our strength more. We're actually loading our muscles and our tendons and getting insane blood flow into them. Tendons take longer to recover than muscles. So even if you had a strong muscle, you could have weak tendons and weak ligaments. Ligaments are even deeper than the tendons. So with this alone, which I currently do twice a week on the ATG Essentials program, twice a week I do a push-pull, and twice a week I just do a push. So these are all, I do sled 6 days a week, followed by only 2 exercises each session. This is how you start getting out of knee pain. And again, you can start with the book, or you can do my online coaching and get coached. What's pretty cool is I spent about $10K getting perfect form in person, and my price is $49.50, and the first month is half that, $24.75, and so is the book. So you could actually get the book, read the book, and still use the app, have your workouts on the app. Everything online is actually a full body program, and get perfect form coaching on its steps while learning the further programs without a long-term contract for a total of $49.50, because it's the book I made half price, and I made it half price for the first month with no long-term contract. So you can honestly see how it is. So my goal is to have a business established, which we've been able to successfully do and help thousands of people, but in a way that the dollar you put in, you get an abundance of value in exchange for that dollar. That's the purpose of ATG. And having a great session here. Even once you get into this sled work, you're gonna have all kinds of really, honestly, happy thoughts and feel good, because now what are you doing? You're doing something about knee pain. So to me, the worst thing you can do about knee pain is nothing. The best thing you could do would be to address something you can do about it without any pain, putting money in the bank, so that the harder you work, the better the rest of your life gets for your knees.